Welcome everyone, it's Vapors Dragomar. It's time for some more Raid Shadow Legends. We're going to be continuing on our way up the Iron Twins Fortress. I've been farming the food. We're going to see what we can do up this up this tower. I want to see how far can I go. Because I think I can go higher. Trying to think what other team comp could we use in here that would be really nice. Because I want to try to... It's not like I don't want to get stuff from my champ training tournament, because it would always be nice to have more champs trained versus this boss. We can include other champs in here. Rector, though, is very nice in this fight. That opportunity strike in there. Get that sheer. Ferocious attack there. Need a more reliable decrease attack. Maybe I'll put in a more reliable decrease attack, because I have a bad feeling this boss in the later stages slams like an absolute cannon. Yeah, he's starting to slam harder, as you can see. So that's why having a consistent decrease attack may be important for the later stages of this boss fight, like the later versions. I'm not talking this version, I'm talking about the big boy versions. So far, Rector is proving to be pretty powerful in this fight. I might upgrade her gear, but I'm not going to demote her. War Maiden, I might swap out for someone else with a decreased attack as we go up. Or decreased defense compression. It's not like I'm not farming food, it's just I don't want to show food farming on screen, because it's just me running Brimstone Pass again and again and again, and that's not going to get me views, obviously. It's boring. I watch other people's stuff while I grind that, so you don't need to see that. You can just see War Maiden. You can fixate on the War Maiden. Alright, let's see how far we can go. I don't want to put Syl in here necessarily. I could, but I'd prefer to put affinity matching champs in here, especially as we go up. Versus attack that. Yeah, I'm probably going to need decrease attack champs soon. Because this boss is going to start to slam really hard. I just want to see how high we can go. Limit, test, experiment with what the boss does, etc. Like, what limits does War Maiden have with this? I still think having less decreased attack is not a good thing. I think putting in like I'm thinking Coffin Smasher or something else with a decreased attack. I'm thinking maybe Sepulture. Something that's force affinity but with a decreased attack. Something that can do it consistently. Because I'm thinking decreased attack would be really powerful versus this boss as we go up. I mean, we haven't needed it so far. I mean, we can put some other stuff in here just to speed up the process. Because I'm trying to evaluate when does the boss get really dangerous. Just trying to evaluate what the boss does on the higher difficulties. Really? That's one of the most annoying things about this boss is that cleanse. I'm pretty sure I'm going to try Deacon versus this boss. I know he's not as popular as the War Maiden, but yeah. I mean, I know he's not as available too, but I think he's a better decreased attack versus this boss potentially. Especially since he's positive affinity at the moment. I mean, you get to watch War Maiden. Just if you guys don't like the rest of my champs, just watch the War Maiden. Watch the War Maiden. Unfortunately, she's only part of the fight because Drex is there for the burns. Rosin is there for the damage. Vogoth is there for the damage mitigation. Rector is here for the perfect veil and heals, and War Maiden is for the decreased defense and the crowd appeal. More crowd appeal than anything, because I have other options that are less attractive than War Maiden that do the same job. She's also accessible. So there's that. Accessible for the noobs. Alright, we're gonna keep seeing how far we can go. Because I want these activation stuff. So you can't decrease his turn meter, eh? Bit of a shame. Because I know that he blocked the debuff, so that probably means... Oh, he can't be enemy max HP'd. Okay. Halatory launch. This guy has a lot of rules. Like a lot of rules. The thing that's annoying is I can't cheese him with Cold Heart. That's basically what they're telling me. I can't, like, 2-shot or 3-shot him with Cold Heart. But I wasn't expecting to be able to. Alright. Because I was expecting this guy to be really hard, by the way. Harder than this. But he wasn't. He's not that hard. He really isn't. Like, yeah, he has some rules. Sure. But he's not, like, so wickedly hard that even now... He's not Hydra. I'm going to put it that way. He's not Hydra. Because, like, Hydra is so awful, this team comp wouldn't even last this long. Wouldn't even. So the fact that I can actually, you know, farm this without too much difficulty on this account is a good sign. True, I have some top tier champs in here, but it's still not terrible. The main reason I put decreased defense is I assume his defense is extremely high. That's why I do it. I'm not trying to be excessively cruel. I'm just making an observation that if he's not going to annihilate me straight away with the decreased defense, and I can afford to put decreased defense into a comp, like a boss that has a large health pool and probably a large defense pool, I'm probably going to want to put some kind of decreased defense in. Especially since he has nothing to stop me from placing it either. It's not like he has buffs that have to be blocked. In before I have to put Ugo in, or someone like Ugo, like Deliana, which I'm still helping out Deliana. I'm surprised this boss doesn't have, like, an even more overloaded kit. Okay, yeah. Because, like, I don't know. Like, he's doing stuff, but he's not as overloaded as Hydra is. Not by a long shot. Hydra is way more overloaded than this boss. Way more. To the point where it's like an absolute chore to do Hydra. See, we're getting to the point where we're going to want decreased attack on this boss. Not even decreased defense. As much as decreased defense sounds like a good idea, it's getting to the point where decreased attack might be better option for higher up this boss. That's what's... like, I'm testing the damage with what War Maiden takes, not the rest of my squad. Because the rest of my squad are like armored tanks, especially these two. Razin and Vogoth, because they do not take damage from most things. Unless it's like Mashald or something disgusting like that. Then yeah, they'll take damage from a Spirit Affinity damage dealer that's like designed, but not from that guy. So yeah, because War Maiden just has a bikini. She just has her beach vest. She doesn't have all this thick, heavy armor that these people have. I'm gonna try, and I know it's gonna sound dumb. I'm gonna try since I know this boss is going to be painful now, at this point, there's a number of options I can resort to. I'm going to start with some Demetha, because I'm actually kind of afraid of this boss. And I also want to see, does he steal block damage? That's another thing I want to know. Does he steal it? This would be good to know. Like, what does he do with buffs, if you have buffs? Because it's a serious question. Because I want to know, does he confiscate buffs, or does he leave them there? Because that affects what team comps I can run versus this boss. I could also go a more early game friendly team comp, but it would involve a lot of Force Affinity champs. And I'm not sure if I want to do that just yet. I'm just going to see what I can do with my current teams. Okay, he cannot remove that. He is starting to do more dramatic attacks with, like, Ruinous Swing. So there is that. But I'm just testing to see what he does. And I know that I don't want to bring War Maiden in at this level, because I know that he's going to start to smack for a lot more. And I'm going to actually want to try hard now. Now that we're at this phase. Rosin is part of it, though. Like, before you're like, oh, Rosin doesn't belong here. Yeah, no, he kind of does. He might actually be the last one alive, him and Drex, because both of them, and Vogoth, they're built like armored tanks. Demetha's here for the block damage because I don't have a Man-Eater or a... I don't have a Man-Eater, I don't have ridiculous stuff. Rosin's gonna be most of the decreased defense here and weaken, because I can't trust my... See, now he's starting to bring out the more dangerous stuff. So what that tells me is... What that tells me is I should also bring in cleansers. Like Doom Priest or Mausoleum Mage for the higher levels. Because that seems to be a problem. Getting the weaken up is going to be good. Why does he retaliatory launch when I put the block damage? That's the real question. What is it about the block damage? Because I didn't hit him with anything. I just put block damage up. Oh, whenever an enemy receives a buff. Oh, they're immune to turn meter reduction. Okay, good. Good to know. He's immune to turn meter reduction. Completely immune. Okay. Completely immune, and whenever an enemy receives a buff, his turn meter is boosted. Okay. Noted. I just want to know these things for when I try to fight even more heinous versions of this boss. I did that on purpose, because it also nullifies his strike, because the buff that we're receiving is block damage, and although he retaliates, that doesn't mean that, that does not mean, okay, yeah, my Rector needs help. Alright. So we're gonna go give her some help. So yeah, I'm going to be giving my Rector some proprietary help. Because without that, we are kind of in trouble. Because I kind of need her to keep peeling. Because the higher we go, the more brutal this guy is going to smack for. Alright, we managed to use all 6 of the keys. And then we have to dig into our energy fuel. And then we're going to get to stage 9 if we can in the next episode. As well as I'm going to get some silver. Because guess what I have to do? Help out Rector Drath. So she can keep peeling.